Moreno Valley Community Services District, City as Successor Agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Moreno Valley Housing Authority, Moreno Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. I'm Moreno Valley Mayor Ixchel Gutierrez. I now call the City Council meeting to order on May 18, 2021 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Marquez.
Here.
Councilmember Cabrera. I think he's trying to log in. Mayor Pro Tem BACA.
Here.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Here. Thank you. Staff introductions, please.
Pat Jaques Nare, City Clerk.
Steve Quintanilla, Interim City Attorney.
Mike Lee, City Manager.
Brian Mohan, Acting Assistant City Manager, Chief Financial Officer, City Treasurer.
Michael Wolf, Assistant City Manager, Director of Public Works, City Engineer.
Manuel Mancha, Community Development Director.
Patty Solano, Parks and Community Services Director.
John Salisbury, Chief of Police.
Abdul Ahmed, Fire Chief.
Great. Thank you to staff, and thank you, Chief, for those updates as well with the fire going on right now. Appreciate that. We'll go ahead and get started with public comments. We'll go ahead and limit the comments to 2 minutes per person, and we'll go ahead and start. Madam Clerk, if you can call the first 3 speakers.
I'm sorry, Olga Lydia Taylor, Angel Lopez, and Edward Jones. Olga, star 6 to speak, please.
Olga? It'll be 2 minutes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Oh,
welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm far away from home and I don't have great reception, but very quickly, I am a resident of Moreno Valley. I live in the ranch, and I wanted to talk about fireworks. I hope you guys have it in your agenda in the future to talk about this issue. I know people are preparing for the 4th of July, but it's May now, and since last month, people have been setting off fireworks. And so I'm very much concerned about this. I'm concerned about my neighbors, and I'm concerned first and foremost about my pets, who are incredibly terrified of the fireworks. I don't know what we're doing as a city, but I'm proposing that we put a plan together to inform our neighbors that this is illegal in Moreno Valley. And I know I go on the app next door and talk to my neighbors, and many of us have this concern and want to know what can we do about this. I recommended maybe we can video record these folks that are doing this illegally in the community, and then try to report it to the police department. But many of them say that they've tried this in the past and nothing gets done. And so I'm hoping that we can do something about it. We're neighbors, and this is a big concern for us, and we want to do something about it. So how can we help you guys to enforce this and to put it on a plan to do something about it? So I don't know if Mike's gone over my 2 minutes, but my husband's telling me to.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We are, we do have a plan in place, actually, because we have noticed in the past year it was really bad. And we do have a fireworks team that's going to, with code enforcement, police, fire, and then we also have drones this year as well. So we're really using all types of technology to really get these folks. And I think it's less fireworks than last year, but still, I mean, I have 2 pets myself, and it's just been really bad. So we're going to continue to work on that. So thank you so much, Olga, for calling, and we'll definitely follow up on that. Okay, next speakers, please.
And the next speaker is Angel Lopez, followed by Edward Jones and Brandon Karn. Angel?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic, thank you. And yes, my name is Angel Lopez Ramirez, and I am a homeowner in San Luis Ranch, and I am also a candidate for the City of Moreno Valley District 2, the vacant seat for the November 2021 election. And I just want to thank Olga for echoing a lot of comments, a lot of sentiments and concerns. And if I may add as well, a lot of the remarks related to the fireworks and the lighting of the fireworks, and certainly adding to the municipal code as far as fireworks, having them illegal and fines and penalties. And many neighbors argue that the current fines and penalties perhaps do not go far enough. For example, one neighbor argued about fireworks getting lit up at 4 a.m. recently. And others argue about their pets, as Olga stated. I too have two Chihuahuas, and there are times when I have to cradle them in my arms as late as 2 a.m. until the fireworks show ends. And other neighbors have attributed the same problem to other communities that have added stiffer fines and penalties. One such example is the city of Modesto, California, and looking at their municipal code, chapter 3-1.304, administrative penalties and remedies. For all violations of their chapter in their municipal code, possession, manufacture, sale, use, or discharge of dangerous fireworks, they add administrative penalties for the amount of $250 for the first violation, $500 for the second, within a 12-month period, and $750. So I advocate for my neighbors and constituents in District 2 for the City Council to add additional penalties and fines. Thank you.
Thank you, Angel. And we just recently increased it to $1,000 now, the violation the first time. So we're trying to promote that information. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Edward Jones, followed by Brandon Carn and Luis Palomares.
Hi, yes. Hello all. My name is Edward Jones. I am I'm a homeowner here in Moreno Valley in the Rancho Bellagio area. I had a couple questions. The first question, I was just wondering as far as the continuation of the funding for the parks and recs, how would I be affected as a homeowner with taxes? Would I be affected for this 2021 year?
Go ahead and keep asking your questions, and then we'll address them after.
Okay. And then also, I have 3 children in my household, in which for the last 3-4 years, we sign up for sports and activities. And I was just kind of concerned because I have twin boys, 2 boy, sons, and they were looking to get involved in the flag football. And myself, I was actually a coach for two years, 2017, 2018. And so we were looking for involvement. And so as far as with the pandemic and the restrictions, we wanted to kind of know, as far as our family and other residents in the community, when they're going to be able to open back up these activities for the children.
Okay. Thank you, Edwards. So just so you know, June 1st, the city's opening up again, but also I'm going to have our city manager address your other question. So let's just finish the public comments right now, and then he'll answer that other question that you had, okay? Okay, next speakers, please.
Next speaker is Brandon Carn, followed by Luis Palomares and Tom Jarrell. Brandon?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wanted to comment on a headline that came out yesterday in Imperial Valley Press, which is a publication in Imperial County. And the headline is reading, "Controversy prompts questions about inland port project." The last few weeks, I've been talking about Highland Fairview and Edo Benzivi attempting to purchase something like 2,900 acres of land near the Salton Sea for what they're proclaiming will be an inland logistics port. The controversy in this comes from an individual named Sean Wilcock, who they have been using to represent them in this land purchase from Imperial Irrigation District, which is one of the largest power and water entities in California. Sean Wilcock works for a company called Imperial Valley Economic Development Corp. And he has been accused as of last week of forging letters on behalf of Imperial Irrigation District, including forging the signatures of officials there in favor of his clients and his entities, and also forging the signature of individuals like the water manager of IID or Imperial Irrigation District. So it's very clear this is going to lead to an identity theft and a perjury type investigation in Imperial County, which is very interesting because once again, we have either Edo Benzibi or Highland Fairview somehow or another connected to someone either unethical or being criminal investigated. I've talked about for many months now, Edo Benzibi's other company, Healthcare Conglomerate Associates, where his younger brother, which is a company he formed with his younger brother, who is indicted on money laundering charges, conflict of interest, embezzlement, as well as a lawyer that Highland Fairview has operated with in Moreno Valley for years. This is a very troubling article. Imperial Irrigation District doesn't believe this project will go forward, and their directors are quoted as saying as such. And it really is creating another black eye involving these failed business people for Moreno Valley. And it's really something I hope people wake up to and realize is a big problem for all of us involved. Thank you.
Okay, next speakers, please.
The next speaker is Luis Palomares, and then followed by Tom Jarrell, but Mr. Jarrell hasn't logged in yet.
Okay, Louise?
Hello?
Louis? Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, this is Luis Palomares, community activist. There goes Brandon Carr again. You know, nothing but gloom and doom, nothing but propaganda, a bunch of lies. Who cares about the Salton Sea? We're worrying about our own community here. You know, he spreads the lies, he spreads them. I tell you, he's worse as Fox cable news. He's like a Trump, you know, all this nonsense and propaganda and lies. Come on. Don't you got a better things to do? You know, our community's doing great here, you know, and if it wasn't for you Liars Club, we would already have the logistics centers up and running. Most of those buildings, a lot of those buildings still would have been there. But because of you and the Liars Club and the Dans and all these other people, you know, that always have thrown monkey ranches and the Penny Newmans to get $1 out of the deal. Are you on the payroll, I wonder? Makes me wonder why is he adamant of, you know, worrying about what's happening at the Salton Seas. Let's get going here in our own community with the World Logistics Center. They're the ones that messed it all up. They're the ones that sued. They're the ones that stopped the project. They would have been here a long, long time ago. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of it. Everything's real interesting to him. You know, the glasses, with him, it's always half empty. Come on, can he say the glass is half full? What's all his in on this? What's really going on? That's what I want to know with this Brendan Carr. Golly, grow up. You know, I think we're doing a lot of great things in our community, and we're going to keep it going forward. You know, we're going to keep it going forward because, you know, there's a lot we need still here, and everything that we get here is going to benefit the community. It's going to benefit the community. Everybody else is building around us, logistics. Even Redlands, a small little city of Redlands, Beaumont, Banning, Paris, everybody, Riverside. Oh, Riverside's always throwing rocks over here, but they sure got a lot of stuff going on there, logistics, and they're not even the state of the art like the Skechers project is. You know, they just put up their buildings and they don't care who gets.
City Clerk?
There's no more speakers.
Okay, all right. In order to, okay, well, we've already finished that part. So we'll go to the consent calendars, sections A through E. These are considered to be routine and non-controversial and may be enacted by one motion. Each motion is a separate motion for each agency. And we'll go ahead and see if there's any items that would like a discussion or to be pulled. So I'm just looking right now to see if you guys have anything. Just wave your hand and then we'll go from there. No? Okay, seeing none. All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Okay, moved by Mayor Pro Tem Victoria Baca, second by David Marquez. Yeah, is that fine? Okay. All right, so a second by Marquez. Go ahead and Madam Clerk, call for the vote, please.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Marquez?
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez?
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And then while we're going to go to F1, I wanted to see if I can have Mike respond to Edward's concern regarding the park fees.
Sure. In regards to the speakers, it is actually for item F1, but with respect to his parcel, it's actually no increase on his parcel. Also, the speaker had a question about the parks. Yes, they are. We, as the mayor alluded to, we are going to be opening up all city facilities on June 1st. And actually, you can start registering for a lot of the activities. You can go to registermoval.org. Once again, it's registermoval.org, and you can register on all the various activities that are now opening up. So that concludes my report on that item. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks so much, Mike. And then there's also a lot of volunteer opportunities too. So when you're on mobile.org, look for the volunteer opportunities. Okay, so we'll go to F1, public hearing to continue the Moreno Valley Community Services District. So we have these every year, they're routine. We'll go ahead and have Financial Management Services discuss the annual parcel taxes and charges for the fiscal year 2021-2022, zones A, C, D, E, and M.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Candace Castle, the Special Districts Division Manager, will actually be presenting F1 through F4. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the City Council, Candace Castle, Special Districts Division Manager. The next several public hearings have to do with parcel charges the city applies to the property tax bills. And Mayor, unless there are any objections, I'll give a combined overview and then a brief description for each public hearing.
Yes, that would be great. And if you can also touch a little upon how this is very routine and a lot of cities do these types of things.
I will do that.
Thank you.
So through prior proceedings, the qualified electors authorized the city to place certain parcel charges on their annual property tax bill. And the city can levy the charges provided the amount levied does not exceed a maximum dollar amount and that the monies are only used to fund the programs approved by the qualified electors. At the time the qualified electors authorized the city to put the charges on their property tax bill, some also authorized the city to adjust the maximum amount annually to cover increases in costs to provide the services. The adjustment is based on the change in an index, typically CPI, or a set percentage amount. And in some cases, there are no approved inflationary adjustments. Even though the city is authorized to place the charges on the property tax bill, that process cannot occur without an annual review by the City Council. And as you referred to, Mayor, this is a requirement of all agencies across the state of California. The next several public hearings were scheduled to provide the public an opportunity to provide input on these charges before the council actually approves them. All of these charges are a continuation of the charges that are already on the property tax bill, or the city has been authorized to have the charges levied on the property tax bill. There are no new charges requested as part of tonight's hearings. These public hearings are routine and they take place every year. Because the city can only levy what's needed to fund the specific programs for the next fiscal year, each year we conduct a financial analysis of each program to calculate the recommended amounts to apply to next year's bills. And under no circumstances can that amount be greater than the adjusted maximum amount that the qualified electors approved. After conducting the next 5 public hearings, the council will be asked to consider approving the recommended charges to place on the property tax bill for each of the specific programs. The first public hearing is for the Community Services District Zones A, C, D, E, and M. Zone A provides funding for the city's parks and community services programs. Zone C funds the arterial street lighting program. And zones D, E, and M fund the maintenance of public landscaping in certain areas of the community. For those zones where the property owners have previously provided approval, it is recommended that the maximum rates be adjusted by 1.45%, which was the CPI, and the rate applied to the property tax bill be adjusted to fund next year's services. At this time, staff requests that the CSD board conduct a public hearing and upon its close, adopt the resolutions approving the charges for zones A, C, D, E, and M for fiscal year 2021-22.
Okay, thank you. And just to reiterate, there's no new charges. correct?
Correct.
Yeah, correct. No new charges. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the hearing. Thank you for the staff report. Any council questions? Okay, we'll go ahead now. The hearing is now open. Madam Clerk, I do believe we had a few speakers that wanted to speak on this item.
Yes, we have Eugenia Milner, followed by Edward Jones.
Okay, we'll do 1 minute each.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Miller? *6 to speak, please.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
ma'am.
can. Hi.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you so very much. Actually, my question is similar to one of the gentlemen that spoke earlier about recreation activities available. So it was great to hear that some things are going to be opening up. One of the suggestions that I have as well is to have a PAL, Police Athletic League, maybe in one of the warehouse buildings nearby, to build a relationship between the police station officers and the youth, which are going to be future homeowners and renters of Moreno Valley, to just build that relationship. That was something that I had when I was younger, and I loved it, enjoyed it, and that's something that maybe can come to Moreno Valley. Just not besides just the recreational activities, but to have an actual building dedicated to police officers volunteering their time to mentor youth via athletic and STEM activities and other things.
Thank you.
So just a suggestion.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that idea. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Next speaker, Mr. Edward Jones. Anthony Wilson and Simone are not logged in.
Okay.
Mr. Jones, *6 to speak, please.
I think he was the same speaker from the earlier. We probably addressed this question already.
Okay.
Let's maybe. I think it was.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, it was. My question was answered. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries. No worries. Thank you so much, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
That's all the speakers, sir.
Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and close the hearing. The hearing is now closed. Any council deliberation on this item? Just looking here at the screens, seeing none. Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendation CSD numbers 2 through 7.
Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Councilmember Cabrera. Second. Is there a
I'll
second?
second. Sure.
A second by Mayor Pro Tem BACA. So that was a motion by Cabrera and a second by BACA. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to F2 on this one. We do have Mayor Pro Tem BACA. Would you like to recuse yourself on this item, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, I would, because I own property in the district.
Okay. Okay. So
do you move me out, or what do you do?
yeah, you're supposed to kind of like log out. Well, not log out, but leave. And then you can just log back in.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't end the meeting. You can just leave. No, that sounds bad, but yeah. Okay.
We can put her on hold, I believe.
Okay. Because that's usually what we do in the physical meeting. They actually step out of the room completely where they can't hear anything. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to F2 and public hearing to continue. It's basically very similar. This is Zone S. Report from Brian or Candace.
Mayor, I'll be making that presentation as well.
Okay, great. Thanks.
This item is the Zone S parcel charges. Zone S provides funding to maintain certain improvements along Sunnymead Boulevard. The applied rate is proposed to change by 14 cents per linear front footage of those parcels included within Zone S. Staff recommends approval of the resolution after first conducting a public hearing on this item.
Okay, thank you. Any council questions? I see one from Councilor Marquez.
Yes, Candace, I got a question. You had said that this is on Seminole Boulevard, city-owned property. Does not connects to the business-owned properties on Seminole? Where's the line at? Where's the line at?
Getting into my memory here. There's, I believe it goes from Frederick to Paris, if I can remember correctly, council member. And there are certain segments within that stretch that this funding maintains. There are, so it's not a full, complete linear footage. It's just certain areas where certain improvements were constructed. There are other areas that are adjacent to it that the business owner is responsible for.
Okay, that's
Does that help?
Yeah, now I understand. I was concerned about the business owner's properties, but that's not included in this. Like you said, it was just the property owned by the city.
It's actually the frontage. So it's within the right of way, or there's an easement. It's usually within the right of way, so it would be in front of the business owner's property, and it also includes the median on Sunnymead Boulevard.
Okay. Thank you, Candace. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. Go ahead and open the hearing. Hearing is now open. Any public testimony, Madam Clerk?
None on this item.
Okay, great. We'll go ahead and close the hearing. Any deliberation?
I move.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve recommendations CSD numbers 2 and 3. I heard a motion from Councilmember Marquez.
I'll second.
Okay, a second from Councilmember Cabrera. Go ahead and please vote, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 3 ayes.
Mayor, may we now bring Mayor Pro Tem BACA back into the meeting?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll do that now.
Okay, we're now on F3. We'll go ahead and have a report for this one. We'll go ahead and have Candace again.
Yes. So item F3 is the public hearing to continue the levy of real property assessments on the property tax roll for those parcels included in Lighting Maintenance District number 2014-01. This district pays for the operation of certain residential street lights. In the one zone where the property owners have authorized an annual adjustment to the maximum rate, it's recommended that the rate applied to those property tax bills adjust by $1.30 per parcel. For those parcels without an authorized adjustment, the rate will remain unchanged. Staff recommends approval of the resolution authorizing the levy of these assessments on next year's property tax bills after the public hearing is closed.
Okay, thank you. Any council questions?
Yes, Mayor. Yes, Mayor.
Okay, Councilor Marquez.
Yeah, doing this. The portions of the city that don't have lighting, I guess they were a county when we were incorporated. These portions of the city that don't have lighting, and the homeowners got to pay if they want lighting in their streets. Do they have to pay, or is there some way that the city could install, lights?
So what can happen is the property owners can get together and they can elect to form a district where we can bring the item to the council, and the council could, if it wants to, it could advance those funds so that the improvements could be installed, and then the city could recover those funds by putting a parcel charge on the property tax bill. Alternatively, the city council could elect to set aside funds for the purpose of installing streetlights in those areas that don't have streetlights.
Okay.
Yeah, this district doesn't fund the installation of those improvements. It funds the operation after those improvements have been installed.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Candace. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open the hearing then. The hearing is now open. Any public testimony, Madam Clerk?
None for this item.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and close the hearing. Any council deliberation? Seeing none here. Okay, I'll entertain a motion by council to approve staff CSD recommendations numbers 2 and 3.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Marquez, a
I'll
second.
second.
Second made by Councilmember Cabrera. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes. Thank you.
Okay, we're now on item F4, and we'll go ahead, and this is the Landscape Maintenance District, continuing those charges. Report from Candace.
Mayor, this is the last item that I will present this evening. This district provides the funding to maintain certain public landscaping areas throughout the community and is only applied to the property tax bill of those parcels benefiting from the improvements. All but one of the zones in this district have a property owner approved adjustment to the maximum assessment. After conducting the public hearing, staff recommends adoption of the resolution which authorizes the levy of the assessment at the rates identified in the assessment engineer's report.
Okay, thank you. Any council questions of staff? Okay, no, okay. All right, I'll go ahead and open the hearing. Hearing is now open. Madam Clerk, any public testimony?
None for this item.
Okay, hearing is closed. Any council deliberation? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and close it. I entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendations numbers 2 and 3.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, the motion made by Councilmember Cabrera.
Second.
Okay, second made by Councilmember Marquez. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes. Thank you.
Okay, so now that's F5. We're in F5 now, National Pollutant Discharge, and we'll have a report from Public Works.
Mayor? Oh, excuse me, Mayor.
Oh, wait, yes. Councilor Marquez, would you like to recuse yourself?
Yes, I will leave the room. I'll put it on mute and leave the room.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Marquez, you can stay there. We'll just place you in the waiting room.
Okay,
Good evening,
report from Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, Michael Wolf, Public Works Director, City Engineer. So this is very similar to the information that Kenneth Castle had presented. This specific special district is associated with the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System or water quality. Again, this is a continuation of prior year charges. This is for fiscal year 2021, 2022, no new charges. This is a district that has allowed for a CPI increase. So with this, the proposed applied and maximum rates are indicated in the staff report. Staff recommends that the council conduct the public hearing and absent any compelling testimony otherwise, approve the maximum applied charges as indicated and then adopt the resolution.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. And again, no new charges. We'll go ahead and ask for council questions. Okay, seeing none. I now open the hearing. Any public testimony, Madam Clerk?
None for this item.
Okay, the hearing is now closed. Council deliberation, seeing none. Okay, oh, Councilmember Cabrera?
No deliberation, just make a motion to approve the item, Mayor.
Okay, yeah, let me just first close the hearing and then, yeah. Okay, I entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendations numbers 2 and 3. We'll go ahead and do a motion from Councilmember Cabrera. Any second?
Second.
Second from Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Go ahead and Madam Clerk, call for the vote. Thank you.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes. Thank you.
Great.
3 ayes.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then now we can bring back Councilmember Marquez. And we're now on item F6. So I believe Tim is doing that. Correct, Tim? I think so. And it should be bringing him back. Okay, public hearing for delinquent nuisance abatements, code and neighborhood services, report of community development.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. Item 6 F6 will be presented by Steve Alvarado, the billing official.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, and members of the council. Steve Alvarado, building official. Tonight I'm presenting the property assessment list as it relates to nuisance abatement and code and neighborhood services. Each year, Code and Neighborhood Services performs nuisance abatement to remove nuisances, hazards related to municipal code violation, as well as health and safety matters. After code notices the property owners to abate the nuisance and providing a specified time to bring the property into compliance. If the property is not brought into compliance upon the specified date, a nuisance abatement must occur to remove the hazard. Code notices the property owner, tries to work with them in all matters, and tries to obtain voluntary compliance in every situation. In fiscal year 1920, Code and Neighborhood Services conducted 4 nuisance abatements for these types of violations. With that, I hereby submit the property assessment log for review and consideration by City Council.
Thank you so much, Steve. We'll go ahead and do council questions of staff. None. The hearing is now open. Madam Clerk, any public testimony?
None for this item.
Okay. Any council deliberation? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead now and close the hearing.
Mayor, I do have a comment.
Oh, okay. Yes, go ahead.
Very briefly, just wanted to point this out and how important it is, and also give a thank you to Steve and you know, Public Works and everyone there, because we will run into issues where, you know, properties, for whatever reason, maybe there's a bad tenant who's, you know, currently in the property. We run into a lot of issues, and so sometimes we can't resolve them right there in the moment because there's a legal process that, you know, has to be gone through. But you know, this is part of that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone at City Hall who helps to bring these properties into compliance, because I know it could be an issue, but I know you do everything you can to correct those issues. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, I entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendations numbers 2 through 4.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Baca. We need a second. Okay, I'll second. Okay, so the motion's made by Mayor Pro Tem Baca and the second by myself. Madam Clerk, go ahead and call for the vote.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 4 ayes. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. So now we are past the public hearings. We'll go straight to item I, which is March Joint Powers Commission. We'll have Mayor Pro Tem Baca do her presentation, and then right after we have the Riverside Transit Agency, which is Councilmember Marquez. We'll go ahead and start with MPT Baca.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Tonight I'm providing an update from the March Joint Powers Commission meeting that was held on March the 12th. It was brief, but an important meeting. The commission approved new committee representation for vacancies on 3 JPA committees. I will be representing Moreno Valley on the March Business Center Implementation Committee, the Development Committee, Ad Hoc Committee, east of 215, and as the alternate on the Compatibility Youth Study Committee. And that concludes my report on the last March Joint Powers Commission meeting. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilor Marquez.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Riverside Transit Agency, just a reminder that RTA will be closed on Memorial Day. Buses will not be operating, so they will resume on June 1st. They felt that there's not enough passengers for that day, so they decided not to have any buses running. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilor Marquez. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item tonight. There was a speaker that spoke about the fireworks, and yes, as the mayor indicated, we do have a fireworks task force. We also have drones with fleet of drones that are going to be canvassing the city, but we do need the residents' help, and we have a web portal that residents can report anonymously on any fireworks. So it is www.resi.gov www.moval.org/fireworks. Once again, it's www.moval.org/fireworks. Also, there's a hotline. The hotline is 951-247-8700, option 5. Once again, that is 951-247-8700, option 5. That concludes the city manager's report tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mike. We'll go ahead and go to closing comments. We have Councilmember Marquez.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just make it real short. State of California that we're hearing June 15th that they're going to open it up. I understand how some residents, some the community. I don't like wearing one. I've been taking the 2 vaccine shots. I do get tests regularly for the virus still. But I wear my mask wherever I can in public. Even though they're saying we don't have to wear it, please wear your mask. It's not gonna hurt. Wear it for another couple of months if that's what they're asking for. We want to get over this. We want to be 100% free of this. And we want the city to be very healthy. So I asked the residents, please, continue wearing your mask and let's be safe out there. And we'll be protecting the people that haven't taken their shots yet. So just be safe. Secondly, it hasn't been brought up. I haven't heard anybody mention it, that we're going to have a ribbon cutting for the new amphitheater in June. And I don't have the date, but I've been asked several times. Let me see if I got it right here. Let's see here. Here we go. On June 24th at 5:30, we'll be having a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new amphitheater. So come on out, enjoy that new amphitheater, and that's where we're gonna have our 4th of July also. So June 24th at 5:30, public to come out. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilmember. Okay, we have Councilmember Cabrera, please.
Thank you and good evening. Buenas tardes to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here once again at tonight's council meeting. I will definitely be there for the ribbon cutting. Thank you, Councilmember Marquez, for mentioning that. We're finally almost there to the completion of the construction. So look forward to seeing everybody out there on June 24th. Next item, the governor's proposed budget. So what we call the May Revise in political science, in the political world. Right now the legislature and the governor are hammering out those final details of what the next budget will be and what funding will be ultimately included and appropriated and distributed down to counties and cities. So definitely something to keep an eye on. There's a lot of funding in there that's proposed for housing and homelessness, more than ever before. Also a new program called Clean California, which is actually very timely because Councilmember Marquez and I have been working with staff and Assemblymember Medina to clean up our freeways. And this program was just announced. So basically the goal is to create about 15,000 jobs to clean up our freeways, our off-ramps, our on-ramps throughout California, clean up homeless encampments, and also fund public art. So this is, again, very timely because we were already working on this for a long time, and now we're getting additional funding that's coming down. So we'll make sure to pay attention to that, and make sure to capitalize on it and bring it here to Moreno Valley. Let's see here. Also additional funding for grants, for small businesses, more funding for clean energy and renewable jobs, which is something that I talk about all the time. So we're moving more in that direction. So that's something to just keep an eye on. We'll see what the final budget calls for. Next item, the Community Day of Service. That was a very good day, nice day. A lot of people turned out. We had folks from the Girl Scouts out there. We had our local businesses out there. Councilmember Marquez was out there. The E-team was out there. Mike Lee was out there as well, raking, putting fresh mulch on the playgrounds. I saw everyone from the E-team and a lot of volunteers. Just thank you so much to everyone who made that possible, everyone who came out, everyone who sweat and was out there working. Really appreciate it. And a shout out to Raising Cane's, Manny from Raising Cane's, for donating the lunch. We were a little iffy on if we were gonna have enough, but we had way more than enough. So, we dodged a bullet there. So that went very well. Thank you to everyone for the Community Day of Service. Let's see, last week I I got my first dose of the Pfizer vaccine over at the Moreno Valley Mall. So, you know, that I was surprised by how little I felt the needle. You know, I've had shots in the past, but I did not feel the needle at all. And I asked the nurse, I said, I mean, it's been a long time. And she said jokingly, that's how good I am, right? So so it was good to finally get my first dose. And, you know, I did it first and foremost for my baby, right, who's still in my fiance's womb. So I want to make sure that they're protected and, you know, that there's no complications, no issues there throughout the rest of the process. So please get your vaccine. Please, if you haven't done so, you can also go online and go on myturn.ca.gov. If you don't have transportation, you can get a Lyft or an Uber for free. You can also have a nurse to come out to your house to give you your vaccine. So you just go to myturn.ca.gov to get more information on that. Also, I joined Telemundo 52 last week for a panel with Enrique Chiabra, some folks from Naleo, Dr. Sanchez from Kaiser, and we were talking about everything I just said about how important it is to get the vaccine so we can get out of this pandemic. So thank you to Telemundo 52 for having me on their panel. Also, last week, the Vista del Lago graduation was on Thursday. I was out there with some folks from economic development, some park staff, Councilmember Marquez was there as well. And it was just so good to see how happy the seniors were, right? To come back to school, to get their swag bags, to get all of their things, their cap and gown for graduation. And the parents were so happy as well. So that was very nice. Also, painting of the M happened last Saturday. So we were up there with Brian Mohan, our CFO. The Noon Rotary was up there. Thank you to all the volunteers. So if you see the M a little bit brighter, you know why, because there were volunteers on the weekend cleaning that up for you. So it was a good time to be up there with them. And last but not least, my fiance Karina and I had our gender reveal on Saturday. So now we know what we're gonna have. We are having a boy in October. So very excited about that. And with that, just want to wish everyone a safe evening. Please stay well, stay healthy, and we'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Cabrera, and congratulations. Congratulations.
Mayor? Yeah,
Yes.
Mayor, I forgot one thing real quick, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know, I'm just looking at my notes. Kaiser had opened up a vaccine center at the Sears building downstairs. It's right across from the that weight center there as you go into the bottom where Sears used to be. That is now a Kaiser vaccine center. Anyone that's with Kaiser can go in there to get the vaccines. There's no charge, no cost. For children under the age of 18, you have to have a parent or a guardian with you before you can get your shot. So you should make an appointment, but if you're in the area, you want your shots, go into the Kaiser and you'll get your shots there. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, great. Okay, we have Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. I don't want to repeat anything that my colleagues have said already, but I just want to let the public know that even though, you know, it's been rough for the country, for the state, the county, our city, with COVID and all the pandemic and all the quarantine that we went through, keeping ourselves safe and getting vaccinated, of course. I've already had both my vaccines and I encourage everybody else to do so as well, because, you know, we need to stop this pandemic and this virus and do as much as we can for our community. So thank you to everybody that is participating, and I encourage more people to do it. I didn't get sick. I had my first vaccine, didn't feel anything. Had the second vaccine and didn't feel anything. Like one of my colleagues said, the needle is so thin, you don't feel it. And I didn't have any symptoms after that as well, or symptoms from the second dose. So come on, let's do it. Okay, just remember that we're getting close to summer. We're going to start all our activities. So please follow the guidelines and be safe and keep your family and neighbors and friends and everybody else safe, because it's very important, and it's still something that we must do. We can't just say, oh, you know, I didn't get it, I'm not gonna get it. No, you could still get COVID. Our cases are going down drastically here in Riverside County, but we still gotta continue to protect ourselves. And I'm looking forward to the grand opening of our amphitheater. I'm looking forward to our 4th of July event and our 15 de Septiembre, our Mexican Independence festivities that we always celebrate. And I know that there's going to be a lot more. We have the concerts in the park. We have the movies in the park. That amphitheater is going to bring a lot of joy to the residents of Moreno Valley. And last, I want to say that, we've been working. We have our meetings through Zoom, and that's the best we can do. But even with the general plan update, we continue to do it via Zoom. I know it started. I know that District 1 had an actual meeting right before the pandemic, but we moved to the Zoom platform, and we continue that way until June 1st when we return to City Council, and we'll continue with the general plan update. Thank you so much. Good night, and thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem Baca. And speaking about the Zoom, this will be our last Zoom time, together as a council here, which is great because my camera broke down. So it's actually perfect because in June 1st, or actually I believe it's June 1st, or that first week of June, we'll be back in person. So folks can come and visit us, and then I think that'll be a great new normal there. So looking forward to that. Want to thank all of the residents, the volunteers that went out to the Beautify Moval for the cleanup, also the just everything. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. And just to kind of explain a little bit of that, just the visioning behind it, we really wanted to target all of the districts and not just one area. In the past, we just focused on one area. But what we want to do eventually is have this a routine process, right? So regularly every month where we're actually hitting multiple districts. And I know that some of us are already doing that. So that's great. And let's continue to do that. I want to invite everyone to the Memorial Day message. I have a message that I'm going to be delivering live on May 31st to honor our heroes, our fallen heroes, for their service and their sacrifice for our country. And that'll be on May 31st, on Monday, Memorial Day. Also, Teen Spot, the Teen Center, our first ever youth center after the one that closed down back in '96, will be opening. It's called Teen Spot in memory of Dr. Carla Thornton, our fellow council member, and that will be opening June 9th at 2 p.m. So I want to invite everyone to that as well. And then, like we mentioned, volunteer opportunities. I won't repeat all of that, but basically the city manager mentioned also that there's a lot of opportunities where residents can really get back to the community and put that service above self. Armed Forces Day was this past week. I want to thank everyone that serves and that is continuing to serve. Myself, I serve on the California State Guard as a first lieutenant commissioned officer, part of the California Military Department. And I also want to recognize our peace officers for their service as well. This is the Memorial Week for our peace officers that gave their life for their community. Also, I want to mention that I've been working with the Public Safety Committee and also our Sheriff's Department and to really bring to council a new program called CBAT. This is something that's already countywide already, but within the city, it'll actually be putting some of our officers with actually mental health clinicians. So really looking forward to bringing that to council as well. And then what they'll be doing is assessing the homeless and working with the homeless and really providing those services. So really looking forward to that as well. Without further ado, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 6:54 p.m. on this day, and we'll see everybody back in person. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.